name is Joseph Najeme. I'm at the Portland Leisure Centre in Nottingham, and I'm under the BFIT scheme. I was, put down for the BFIT scheme by my local GP, and I've been doing it for 5 months now. I've lost a lot of weight, to be precise, 5 stone, and it's amazing. And it's also helped me build up, my confidence as well. It's helped with my condition.
Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to join me in the countdown, beginning now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What you've just witnessed is the defining moment in the journey of a visionary and innovative young man, Mr. Joseph Najeme, or simply Joe Najeme. This inspiring clip will go on to captivate audiences worldwide, the pinnacle moment in Joe's presentation of his video streaming and sharing platform, Cloud4ront. Released on Facebook in September 2024, the video went viral and was having over 100,000 views a day at one point, ultimately reaching 2.5 million views worldwide. Today, we journey into the evolution of Cloud4ront, exploring and gaining insight into the creative mind behind this phenomenon. We would delve into Joe's creativity and discuss his art, music, and the creative process behind his ideas. We would also take a look at Joe's professional and academic achievements and discuss this modern-day polymath's creative process. Joe will be joining us remotely, but before we bring him on, let's take a look at this prologue for Cloud4ront, which Joe created for his presentation at the University of Derby, plus an exclusive video he filmed, edited, and produced for his brother George's performance of their song, Save Me a Place in Heaven, at the event. Let's take a look.
Right. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you guys, for coming, for this display of my website. So this is my website, Cloud4ront app, and it is a video streaming service.
Until my legs sore, but my feet's wrong to the equals.
Beautiful Monday morning. I'm headed to Derby University for a performance. My brother's out there studying. I'm going there to support him. He's launched a streaming website.
As one of the artists on my brother's streaming website, I was invited by Derby University to perform for his lecturers. So Joe's going to do his presentation, and I'll be performing a few songs.
So now, George, you have to fix your mic, okay?
Okay.
So this is my brother, the only artist, the first artist to have a full page on my website. My little brother, Joe Najeme, he traveled all the way from Oxford today to perform for you guys. George, take it over.
What a wonderful achievement, Joe, congrats. I'm so proud of you. This next one I'm performing was actually produced by Joe. He's an amazing producer as well. I don't know if you know, but he does a bit of music. And he also features on the chorus. I'll just play that for you now. It's titled Save Me a Place in Heaven.
Picture me in heaven, I walk up to the mic. It's another show, doing what I love for entertainment. My mother knows one day we'll be in a place as beautiful as my brother Joe. Cameroon, land of promise, land of glory. Not just a colony, I'm giving you all of me. You're tuned into glory. Pray for forgiveness for all my wrongs, Lord, I'm sorry. We came and we conquered, testify that you saw me. No matter how fast a man is, he cannot run in shadow. Pull me up when I'm hollow. When we are in need of a leader, we will follow. Diving deeper than the shallow, to be wise and not be shallow. Promises for tomorrow, the smoke exits a barrel, and time is just borrowed. The fight for freedom feels eternal. That's why we are focusing and processing what's internal. Healing from within, from a paradise inside, where our dreams don't collide. You already know who provides.
When it's all said and done, how all prophets prophesy. Don't ask me how, my brother, don't ask me how, why. When it's all said and done, how all prophets prophesy. Just save a place for me and it's letting me.
And when it rains, let it rain.
You should smile.
And when it rains, let it rain. And when it rains, let it rain. When it rains, let it rain. And when it rains, let it rain. And when it rains, let it rain. When it rains, don't go inside. Let the drops touch your skin. We are king. Let the souls of our feet embrace the soil of our land. My father knew early, he named me the man. That's blessings for the work that I do with my hand. I don't think you understand. There's a prophecy for the bloodshed, not a hot head. Just know God's time is the best, and that's enough said. Beauty of the sky, born in Boya where the mountain is. Strength of a lion, path to Zion for a fountain drink. Promise for a better day, nothing can amount to this. Growing up in the motherland with my siblings was everything. You can't tell me anything. Mind of my own, not subscribing to what many think. Hold on, let me think. Face to face with the forces of darkness, don't let me blink. You couldn't write your destiny if you tried. We don't have the ink. My brother think, my sister think.
When it's all said and done, how all prophets prophesy. Don't ask me how, my brother, don't ask me how, why.
When it's said and done,
when it's all said and done, how
don't ask me
all
how.
prophets prophesy.
Let's go.
Just leave a place for me and it's letting me.
And when it rains, let it rain.
You should smile.
And when it rains, let it rain. And when it rains, let it rain. When it rains, let it rain. And when it rains, let it rain. And when it rains, let it rain.
Thank you.
Oh my days, man. That was amazing.
It's been a pleasure.
Vanatande na pula na busando lazo ebende ndolo na muyenge ese ndembana nyakie weno nilo wamba na yawamba tina mundie.
Wow, wasn't that phenomenal? Welcome to Today on Georgia. I'm your host, Georgia, and I'm happy to introduce our special guest, visionary creator, artist, and innovator, Joe Najeme. Hi, Joe, and welcome to the show. Let's start from the beginning. You have a fascinating background, spanning music, art, and technology. Tell us about young Joe. What first sparked your creativity?
Hi, Georgia. Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here. My background in creativity goes back to my childhood. I was born in a West African country called Cameroon and grew up in a large family of siblings with 3 brothers and 6 sisters. We lived in a bungalow up a hill in the township of Buea, the capital of the Southwest Province, and generally, we had a happy upbringing. Our dad was a politician who became an MP, and our mum was a housewife with a history in stage play. She gave up her aspirations to become an actress to bring us up, while our dad worked hard to put food on the table, educate us, and give us a really happy life. My creativity as a child started with sculpting figures using chewing gum and wood and cutting out cardboard drawings of comic characters as playful toys for my little brother George. I made George every possible character he loved: Superman, RoboCop, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Rambo, Hulk Hogan, and other popular wrestlers at the time. I mean, we were late 80s, early 90s kids, so those were our heroes at the time. One thing I remember growing up is that whenever I listened to music, I wasn't paying attention to the lyrics, but rather I was listening to the melody and accompaniment, the bass line, the harmonies and stuff like that, and would often notice the similarities between songs and the basic formula, some verses and at least 2 choruses with the title always the repetitive word sung in the chorus and the outro. I was just fascinated by art. We moved to England in 2001. Our dad brought us here to be safe and for greener pastures.
Wow, Joe, that's an incredible story. Growing up in a large, loving family with such a rich cultural background must have been a profound influence on your creativity. It's fascinating how your artistic journey started with sculpting, drawing, and even making toy figures for your brother. There's something so pure about that form of storytelling and craftsmanship. And you're here for music. The way you instinctively broke down melodies, harmonies, and song structures as a child is something many trained musicians struggle to develop. It's clear that creativity wasn't just a hobby for you. It was a way of seeing and interacting with the world. Moving to England must have been a big transition. How did that shift impact your creative growth and the way you saw the world?
Of course, Georgia. It truly was a big transition. Moving from Cameroon to England opened up a whole new world of experiences for me. Back home, creativity was something I nurtured in a hands-on way, crafting, drawing, and experimenting with music in my own little space. But when we moved, everything felt different, including the environment and the culture, even the pace of life. It all challenged me to adapt. At first, it was overwhelming. I was in my late teens in a completely new country, trying to fit in while still holding on to my identity. But that change also expanded my creative perspective. I was exposed to a broader spectrum of music, art, and technology. However, only a year after arriving in the UK, I began struggling with my mental health and was eventually diagnosed with bipolar disorder. This led to several hospital admissions over the years, and bipolar is a serious condition. And for the better part of 15 years, it shaped much of my life, almost governing it. But interestingly, amidst the challenges, it also became a gateway to a deeper creative exploration. In 2008, during a manic episode, I composed my first song. It came to me almost complete and out of nowhere. All I had to do was record the music in my head and fill in the gaps. That experience was profound, almost as if parts of my mind had been unlocked that I had never accessed before, while bipolar has undoubtedly brought immense struggles. In a strange way, it has also been a blessing in disguise, fueling my artistic journey in ways I never anticipated.
I truly appreciate your openness in sharing the difficulties you faced with your mental health. I know living with bipolar disorder is no small battle, Joe, and your strength in facing it head-on while still embracing your creative gifts is nothing short of extraordinary. Mental health challenges can feel isolating, yet stories like yours remind us that even in the depths of struggle, there is light, resilience, and untapped potential. It's profound how something so challenging also became a gateway to your creativity. Many people who live with bipolar disorder often find themselves caught between the highs of boundless energy and the lows of exhaustion and despair. But your story is a testament to how even in life's most difficult moments, beauty can emerge. Your ability to transform pain into music, vision, and ultimately innovation is incredibly inspiring, not just for those who share your diagnosis, but for anyone who has ever felt trapped by their circumstances. And that brings me to something remarkable you built, Cloud4ront. It was such a bold idea, a video streaming and AI-powered platform. designed from the ground up. What inspired its creation?
This is an interesting one, Georgia. I've loved movies for as long as I can remember. Back in the days of VCR, my dad would always bring home a new videotape, as they were called back then, every couple of days when he returned from work. He made sure we got to watch the latest blockbusters, and we were exposed to films across all genres. I grew up watching classics like The Terminator, Predator, Nightmare on Elm Street, Father of the Bride, Home Alone, The Mummy, Kickboxer, Die Hard, Jurassic Park, Titanic, and The Matrix. Just to name a few, movie nights were a family tradition. We would all gather in the living room, eager to see what Dad had brought home. But there was one rule. If a scene was deemed inappropriate, my parents would immediately tell us to look away and fast forward the tape. Of course, we'd always try to sneak a peek, but they never missed a beat. Looking back, those moments were some of the happiest of my childhood, and they planted the seed for my love of cinema. Fast forward to my years in the UK, and movies took on an even deeper meaning in my life. During my bipolar episodes, particularly the depressive ones, I became almost completely withdrawn from the world. I was homebound for years, isolated, and movies became my escape. I watched them endlessly, TV shows, films, documentaries. You could say I was completely immersed in the world of cinema. I became obsessed with directors and their styles. I wasn't just watching movies, I was studying them. Directors like Steven Spielberg, Peter Jackson, the Coen brothers, Michael Bay, Zack Snyder, Martin Scorsese, Ridley Scott, James Cameron, Christopher Nolan, and Quentin Tarantino. They became my benchmarks. I would decide whether a movie was worth watching based on who directed it, and of course, who starred in it. I learned how certain actors gravitated towards specific types of films, how directors made their choices, and how storytelling evolved across different genres. But I didn't just love big-budget Hollywood productions. I also appreciated small-screen storytelling and indie films. So inevitably, the thought crossed my mind, what if I could one day create my own streaming platform, something like Netflix? That single thought took on a life of its own. In 2019, my brother, who lives in Kansas City, Missouri, wanted to help me get back on my feet. He paid for me to enroll in an IT course, thinking it would open doors to new career opportunities. I had worked as an office administrator in London years before, and he believed I had the skills to transition into tech. But when I started the course, I quickly realized it wasn't for me. It was death by PowerPoint, with a tutor delivering the lessons via a conference call from India. I couldn't believe it. It was like trying to learn from a voice on a speakerphone. I told my brother about it, and thankfully, he managed to get a refund. He encouraged me to find something else, something that actually suited me, and he would cover the cost. That's when I reached out to a close friend who had a degree in computer science. He told me about AWS, Amazon Web Services, and how an AWS Certified Solutions Architect was one of the most sought-after qualifications at the time. Then he dropped a bombshell. He told me that Netflix's entire infrastructure runs on AWS. At that moment, my mind was made up. If AWS was the foundation that powered Netflix, then I had to study it. I enrolled in an AWS course, worked hard to get my certification, and that decision set everything in motion. And here we are today.
Well, that's such an incredible journey, from a childhood love of movies to a deep understanding of storytelling, direction, and technology. It's no surprise that you found a way to bring those passions together in such an ambitious way. What stands out most is how each phase of your life, from those family movie nights to your time in isolation, to discovering AWS, seemed to push you closer to this vision. It wasn't just an idea. It was something that had been forming inside you for years, waiting for the right moment to take shape. And speaking of that vision, we've had some footage rolling in the background. Your presentation of Cloud4ront at the University of Derby. Let's listen in.
Right. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you guys, for coming, for this display of my website. So this is my website, Cloud4ront app, and it is a video streaming service. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick demonstration in a minute, but firstly, I want to thank my
my tutor, Andy McCann, Mr. Andy McCann, who helped organize this. I mean, we've got 2 large screens, and we're in the atrium. Right, so it's been a great year, and I'm so glad that, I performed excellently in all areas, and that was due to hard work. An introduction to my website, I've been working on this for several months, and actually, finally, it's looking exactly the way I intended it to look. So let me show you the features. You're all going to be able to browse this on your phones, today. The domain name is cloud4ront.co.uk. All right, so Cloud4ront with a 4 instead of an F. So cloud4ront.co.uk, and that's the logo. Sign in button. I'll show you how to register and sign in right now. So to sign in, once you've browsed to our cloud4ront.co.uk, you will land on this page. You'll see the promo video which Dumbe and I just showed you guys. Then you click on sign in, and you land into the sign in section. I've got an account, but let's create another account with another email address. Alright, so I'm just creating an account now. I already have one, but let me just create another one. Okay, let me log in with that.
So, basically, you're giving a demonstration here to your lecturers.
That's right.
And your programming lecturer organized this event, Mr. Andy McCann. Is that correct?
Yeah, he put all this together, booked the equipment from the tech department, everything.
Wow, that's really nice of him. So, Joe, we've talked about your professional qualification AWS, and we've also listened to a psalm that you composed and produced, which was performed by your brother George, which was very moving. Also, 2 other compositions of yours have been played as soundtracks to this documentary. They're called Gonna Be a Star and I Miss Only Ya.
That's right. And a third one titled Man Dem Go.
So please tell me, because I read in the documentation that you also have a certificate from the University of Edinburgh for a philosophy course you took online, and we still have a few more demos of your songs and your art coming up. But before we delve into that, it does sound like you're quite the polymath.
Well, I'm more of a jack of all trades, if I'm honest.
But you are clearly a polymath, Joe. Tell me about this philosophy course.
Well, it's a course on philosophy of science and religion I took online, on Coursera. The course was provided by the University of Edinburgh.
So, what drew you to this course? And I learned you're creating a course of your own to share the knowledge you gained from it.
I've always loved philosophy, and the course helped me structure my ideologies or my views of the world, life, nature, and most importantly, logic. The concept of knowledge and what constitutes knowledge was the most fascinating thing. Most people, at least I felt knowledge was a reference to what we have stored in memory, which I wrongfully expressed as the things we know. But that's absolutely wrong. The contents of our thoughts, or what we refer to as memories, ideas, beliefs, do not all constitute knowledge. Some are knowledge, of course, the justified true beliefs. Things such as your childhood experiences, the things you can do or skills you have, while others might be falsehoods you believe to be true. For instance, you might feel that the earth is flat and be convinced by that idea contrary to the empirical truth. So, those things that we believe to be the case that aren't do not constitute knowledge. They are simply information or simply some data you have in your brain.
So, we have a tape of Lecture 2 of your course, which is currently streaming on Cloud4ront. Shall we have a look?
Sure, it's my pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the second lecture of Joe's course, Philosophy as a Human Experience. I hope you enjoy it.
Hello everyone, and welcome to today's lecture. I promise you, this is going to be an exciting and insightful session as we explore a fascinating question. What does it mean to truly know something? By the end of this lecture, you'll see just how tricky and thought-provoking the idea of knowledge can be. Let's dive right in. The concept of knowledge has intrigued philosophers for centuries. To get us started, let's break it down into two main types. First, we have propositional knowledge, which is knowing that something is true. For example, you might say, Paris is the capital of France. To have this type of knowledge, three things are required. The statement must be true, you must believe it, and you need justification for your belief. Second, we have ability knowledge, or know-how. This is practical knowledge, like knowing how to ride a bike or play the piano. Unlike propositional knowledge, this is gained more through experience and practice than observation. Now that we've outlined the basics, let's move on to a classic way of defining knowledge, the tripartite view. This states that knowledge is justified true belief. For a belief to count as knowledge, it must meet three conditions. It has to be true, you must believe it, and you need a solid justification for that belief. It sounds straightforward, right? Well, not so fast. Philosophers have found some tricky cases that challenge this definition. These are called Gettier cases, and they show us that sometimes even justified true belief doesn't quite add up to knowledge. Let's start with the first Gettier case, often called the broken clock. Imagine a man who has a very strict daily routine. Every morning, he wakes up at 5 a.m., gets ready, and leaves the house at exactly 7 a.m. He doesn't wear a wristwatch, so as he's about to leave, he always looks up at the large analog clock above his front door to check the time. This clock has always been accurate. One evening, however, the clock stops working. It freezes at precisely 7 p.m. The man, having no idea the clock is broken, goes to bed as usual. The next morning, he wakes up at 5 a.m., follows his routine, and just as he's about to leave, he looks up at the clock. It shows 7, as it always does. Trusting the clock, he confidently steps out, believing it's 7 a.m., and he's right, it is 7 a.m. But here's the catch. His belief was only true by coincidence. The clock wasn't working, it had stopped the night before. So, was this really knowledge? To unpack this, let's ask three critical questions. If the man says, the time is 7 a.m., is this statement true or false? The answer is true. Coincidentally, it was indeed 7 a.m. when he looked at the stopped clock. If the man says, I know the time is 7 a.m., is this statement true or false? The answer is false. Even though he got the right time, his belief wasn't based on a reliable justification. It was pure luck, and luck cannot form the basis of knowledge. If the man says, the time on the clock was 7 a.m., is this statement true or false? The answer is false. The clock had stopped working the night before, so it wasn't accurately showing the current time. Fascinating, isn't it? This example shows how something can meet the criteria of being a justified true belief, but still fail to qualify as knowledge. Now, let's move on to another Gettier case, known as the sheep in a field. Picture this. A man is driving along a country road when he glances out at a nearby field. In the distance, he sees what looks like a sheep grazing peacefully. Delighted by the sight, he continues driving, and when he meets a friend at a restaurant, he remarks, I saw a sheep in a field on my way here. It's so unusual to see just one sheep alone. What the man doesn't realize is that what he saw wasn't a sheep at all. It was a large white rock with some fleece caught on it from a recent storm. However, and here's the twist, there actually is a sheep in that field, but it's hidden behind a hill, out of sight from the road. So, is the man's belief that there was a sheep in the field truly knowledge? Let's break it down with three key questions. If the man says, there is a sheep in the field, is this statement true or false? The answer is true. There really is a sheep in the field, even though he didn't see it. If the man says, I saw a sheep in the field, is this statement true or false? The answer is false. He didn't actually see the sheep. He saw a rock that looked like a sheep. If the man says, I know there is a sheep in the field, is this statement true or false? The answer is false. Although there is a sheep in the field, his belief wasn't based on reliable evidence, and his justification was flawed. These Gettier cases, the broken clock and the sheep in a field, are more than just philosophical puzzles. They challenge us to think critically about what it means to have knowledge. They reveal that even when our beliefs are justified and true, luck or false premises can undermine their status as knowledge. But Gettier cases are only one part of this fascinating puzzle. Philosophers have gone further to propose stricter conditions for knowledge. One such idea is the anti-luck intuition, the belief that true knowledge cannot simply be a matter of luck. Imagine flipping a coin and guessing correctly. While the result is true, it doesn't count as knowledge because it was purely accidental. Others argue for the no false lemmas view, which adds another condition to the tripartite definition. It states that knowledge must not depend on false premises. For example, imagine someone believes John owns a Ford because they saw him driving one. If John had only rented the car, but coincidentally owned another Ford, the person's belief would still fail to qualify as knowledge. Finally, we come to the skeptical challenge. Radical skepticism asks whether we can truly know anything. Take the brain in a vat hypothesis. If we were just brains wired to experience illusions, how could we ever prove that our perceptions of reality are accurate? While skepticism pushes the boundaries of doubt, some philosophers counter with fallibilism, accepting that knowledge can be imperfect but still meaningful. In the end, these debates remind us that knowledge is not just about getting the right answer. It's about the journey, how we justify our beliefs, avoid luck, and strive for understanding. Thank you for joining me on this intellectual adventure. I hope you found today's lecture both thought-provoking and enjoyable.
Wow, that was informative and very clear with descriptive and interactive content for a good viewing experience. So back to your presentation in Derby. I think it's towards the end now, so let's listen in.
You choose an avatar. I've made sure that I've got an avatar that will probably suit every person of every race and age group. You know, I'll add more avatars, but Andy, I think you'll be choosing that one. All right, so this is amazing. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Joe, and Chris, my mate. Thanks for coming. Thanks for sticking around. Alice, thanks for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed it.
Brilliant.
And thank you.
Brilliant.
Thanks.
And I want to say thank you to Andy for nominating me for the.
Yeah.
What did you guys nominate me for?
It was for student excellence.
For student excellence, yeah. And the award ceremony is going to be on Wednesday.
Yes.
And in boxing, and I'll be there. I am.
So, you were nominated for Student Excellence. What an achievement, Joe.
Yeah, I was. It was an honor to be rewarded for my hard work.
Now, let's take a look at some of your drawings. I believe you drew this during a hospital admission.
Yeah, these were drawn while I was admitted at Highbury Hospital in 2018. Luckily, the nurses gave me a folder to put them in, and that's how I was able to retain this collection. Most of the drawings I've done in the past have been lost, so thanks to the nurses for having me keep these.
Wow, these are profound, Joe. And I believe some of the drawings are of other patients and nurses.
Yes, some of them are of nurses and patients. I was having sessions where they would come into this art room and sit for 10 to 15 minutes, so these drawings were done hastily. Some patients gave me pictures to draw from as well. As for the drawing of the Queen, I drew that off a £5 note, so I had to scale up. I guess that's why the likeness wasn't spot on. This drawing, which I call Girl in the Life magazine, was drawn from a magazine that I found lying about. So, yeah, the drawings are from varying sources.
Back to the subject of your music, I believe we have a few to review. So this one is titled Na Bista. What does Na Bista mean?
Na Bista means no bista. Bista is an Irish derogatory term used to describe someone who's not cool. I was collaborating with these Northampton rappers, the Dreamcatchers, Dave Earl and James Young, who had made a viral video with their song, Jim. I met them at Berrywood Hospital in Northampton during an admission there in 2009. When I saw what they were doing, we talked about me producing some tracks for the group and joining them officially, so I got down to it. Dave had a music studio at his flat, so we used it for the recordings and production of the tracks I composed. The first track I produced with the Dreamcatchers was titled She's a Billie Jean. It went viral. And so we decided to do another viral track, and that's when I came up with Nah Beasta. Ever since though, we lost touch and parted ways. After some years, because of trolling, we decided to take down the videos, and only Dave had the MP4 video files, so I guess that's history now, but it was fun working with Dave, Jay, and the rest of the Dreamcatchers, and we had a good friendship.
Your music is beautiful, Joe.
Thank you, Georgia.
But you better up it twice, did you know she want a job? She wants a council flat so she can sit back and she's gonna count stacks, but you know what she are. Billie Jean is always talking when nobody else is talking. Little arms and rubbing shoulders, so they call her mop a motor. If you can't fit the baby, then don't have a baby. And don't have a baby if you can't fit the baby.
And now the big moment. Joe's presentation of the larger and commercial scale version of Cloud4ront in Oxford on the 7th of September 2024. Let's dive right in.
Just so I can have a little bit more people, fill up the seats. So what I suggest is we play a little bit of music and everyone gets something to eat and something to drink. Okay? You can even get drunk. It doesn't matter. But let's give it say half an hour, and then we can start. My mentor, Mr. Joe Najeme, he's ready. We've just done the screen test. So we'll just wait because he's the one who's going to do the first speech. But he's appearing remotely via Zoom. So we are also waiting for an audio jack, so you can actually hear him from the speakers. Yeah? We've just done a visual test, and at least we can get him on screen. He's not going to be in the middle of the screen, but we can get him on screen, and that's enough for today. Alright, so in the meantime, I advise everyone to just have a good time, because today is going to be an exciting day for all of us, alright? I'm excited, and I hope you all are also excited. And if you're excited, please, can you say, yes, I'm excited? Yes! Alright, so let's have fun. Let's play some music, let's eat, let's start drinking, and then when it's time, I'll be stood right here and gather your attention again, alright? Okay. Alright,
Good evening, distinguished guests. It is my pleasure to introduce myself as Amazon Polly, an advanced machine learning speech synthesis tool. I have been programmed to serve as your master of ceremonies for this event. Throughout the course of our program, you will hear from me periodically as I provide additional insights and guide you through our interactive sessions. I am delighted to take part in this event, and I trust that you share my excitement. We are living in an era defined by artificial intelligence, and the tools we develop are designed to enhance your productivity. Allow us to handle the complexities while you focus on your innovative front-end applications. Today, we are not merely witnessing the launch of a groundbreaking web application, but we are also celebrating the remarkable accomplishments of a brilliant and visionary individual, Mr. Joe Najeme. His creation, Cloud4ront, stands as a first-of-its-kind platform. Imagine a digital ecosystem that seamlessly integrates the functionalities of both Netflix and YouTube, along with social networking features. Within this platform, users can explore an extensive range of video content, including movies, television shows, documentaries, dramas, music videos, travel content, blogs, and vlogs. Cloud4ront also empowers users to create their own channels, upload and share diverse video content, including courses, and engage with audiences. Moreover, Cloud4ront offers an innovative opportunity for users to monetize their content. Through Amazon's affiliate marketing program and Google Ads integration, creators can generate revenue from advertisements displayed in their videos. Before we welcome Joe to the stage, it is my honor to introduce his esteemed mentor, an internationally renowned information technology leader. Joining us remotely via Zoom, we have the Managing Director of JetPlay Consulting, Mr. Julian Ebai. With over 25 years of global consulting experience, Mr. Ebai has led numerous successful cloud technology and IT transformation projects across both the public and private sectors. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Julian Ebai.
Okay, so
Yes, you can.
Okay. So what those going on these shares idea me, I thought it was a brilliant idea because I want now everybody's in cloud TV. If you access online shopping, you can access Google, you can access your bank, sport, and the cloud technology in 4 key areas. Software as a service, infrastructure as a service, it's platform as a service, which simply means that you can afford the most expensive technology, little money or no money. Before, after you used to have technology on-premise, which means that you have a server, you have a database administrator who has established you as paying most speakers. I don't know how many people. It's pay as you go. So one part of the same technology, somebody with $1 million. The difference about hyperscale. So when I saw what Joe was doing, I was moved, I was excited, because I'm now at the stage of my career, I'm now an angel investor. So I move from the brightest to the better women with a technology where I can invest in terms of ideas, in terms of venture, in terms of support, with access to the anytime, which you guys are a wonderful, proactive, informative, educative, decision giving. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor to introduce the creator of Cloud4ront. Please join me in giving a warm round of applause to Mr. Joe Najeme, AWS Certified Solutions Architect and Bachelor of Science, Honours, undergraduate in Computer Science at the University of Derby.
I just put you guys together a video. It's called Full of Life, and I believe at the moment I am full of life. And I hope that this life energy that I've got is sort of like a renewed energy. I hope that I sort of like spread it out to you all and excite you, because these are exciting times. Okay, what a wonderful time to be alive, And so we have to be thankful to God that we're all here today. And I myself, I'm overwhelmed by what I created. I've been working day and night for the last 3 months. Right, so today I'm here to introduce you all my new website. So the website actually, there is difference between a website and a web application. The website is a static website, it's a static site, whereas the web application is dynamic. It's both static and dynamic content, okay? So this is for a web application, and I also built an app for it, okay? You're all going to have the codes by the end of the day, alright? It's what's called the PWA, which is a progressive web application, which means that you can download it on all devices. You can download it on mobile phones, you can download it onto your desktop, you can download it on iPads, on tablets, and also you can even install it directly on your smart TV. So it has the advantage of making it work offline, alright? So you might not even have internet connectivity, and you'll still be able to access all the features in the app, and you'll still be able to watch videos. So basically, Cloud4ront is a video streaming service. It's not just a video streaming service, it's also a video sharing service. Imagine combining the functionalities of Netflix and YouTube in one app. That is what Cloud4ront is. Nominated for student excellence. So I'm so proud of that, and I have to share it with you guys. My website is called Cloud4ront. Instead of an F, I put a 4. Alright? And I got the domain from Amazon. The idea that I wanted to bring into fruition, naming the platform, Cloud4ront gives it a neutral name, because Cloud4ront is Amazon's content delivery network. Cloud4ront is an ecosystem, and we talked about how it's dynamic, it's user-driven. Users can also create a channel, you can create playlists, and because of the seamless integration with YouTube and our YouTube Google Data API, which is connected to YouTube, so the seamless integration with YouTube, you can actually migrate your entire YouTube channel on Cloud4ront. portray. So that's possible if you want to. But if you just want to create a profile and then you keep just uploading random videos, that's up to you. If you want to categorize them, that's up to you. You can even sell courses on here. Build your course, and upload it, and it's going to be there. This thing is going to be big, like it's going to be massive. So the early users that I have, I've decided to give them a lifetime of free membership. I can't just be free forever, but it's going to be free for the foreseeable future. Does anyone here know about IMDb? How many people have got Amazon Fire Stick or Smart TV, those various different movie apps? Have you got Freeview? You've got Freeview. All the movies on Freeview are on IMDb. I have unlimited bandwidth. So wherever you are in the world, irrespective of your internet connection, the quality of the videos will be consistent, not only consistent, but will be persistent as well. So my content is currently being cached across the globe. I'll just name you a few locations, okay? So it's being cached in Africa, Asia, it's being cached in Europe, it's being cached in London, and it's being cached in a number of states across the US, Canada, and France. To enable users to put ads in your videos. Imagine that. Which platform does that? None. I'm the only one who can actually allow users to upload the video and put ads on it and see where it goes. Scalability, simple. I'm an AWS certified solutions architect. And once I start hitting over 100,000 views a month and my system starts slowing down, I will migrate the entire infrastructure onto AWS. As a solutions architect, so I know exactly how to do it. Alright? You won't feel a thing, which means if there's any issues during the migration process, my end users will not even notice it. So Amazon is the future of that. Right, so to be honest with you, this is when I say, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to blah blah blah. Please email me. Email me and just confirm that you attended today, and I'll send you this PowerPoint, everything which is on this PowerPoint to you, and it will be like a handbook for you. It will be like a handbook for you that you can keep for life. And who knows, one day it might be lots of money, just like skill stamps, imagine if I had a handbook that gets handed out when it was released. Wouldn't that be worth something today? Yes. Let's eat, let's drink, let's dance, stuff like that. And then I'll be back for an interactive session. But now, we are going to do a countdown for the big reveal. Okay? So, I think I would love a round of applause just for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to join me in the countdown, beginning now. 10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Amazing, amazing.
Ah, we thank God. Oh, we thank God. Gee, George, you
That's so cool. So we've seen a lot of your creations which span various subjects. How do you define creativity?
Creativity is the process of the inception of an idea that results in an appreciable piece of art.
That's a fitting definition, very straight to the point. So what do you want to be known for, say, in 5 years or 10 years? I mean, you've got a lot going on at the moment.
Well, whatever I would have achieved in that period, but most importantly, is what I want to be remembered for.
So how do you want to be remembered, Joe?
I want to be the brightest star in the night sky, a beacon of hope.
And I have no doubt you will be. You're going to be a star, Joe.
Thank you, Georgia. It's touching to hear that.
Joe, you've been an absolute delight, and I thank you for sharing your vision with me and all our viewers. It's been an honor to have you, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thanks for having me.
Joe Najeme and the Evolution of Cloud4ront is a story of the resilience of the human spirit, a journey woven with threads of creativity, struggle, passion, and purpose, from the hills of Boya to the heart of the UK. From childhood dreams shaped by cardboard figures and family movie nights to the creation of a platform that bridges art and technology, Joe's life is a canvas painted with both light and shadow, yet it's in those contrasts that his brilliance shines the brightest. His battles with bipolar didn't define him, they refined him, transforming pain into purpose and isolation into inspiration. Through every triumph and setback, he has shown that creativity is not just an escape, but a way of breathing life into the unimaginable. His story reminds us that dreams are not linear. They evolve, they stumble, they grow. And as the chapters of Joe Najeme's life continue to unfold, as his artistic visions take shape and his passion echoes across screens both big and small, one thing remains clear. For Joe, the story of his dreams has only just begun.